Hey everybody, Brian Yelling here with FlexWholesaler.com. Today we're going to talk about the legal issues of wholesaling. So, disclaimer, I am not an attorney. I do not claim to be an attorney. In the state of Arizona, every state has different laws. In the state of Arizona, it's highly illegal to accept commission or to receive money from a real estate transaction when you're not a licensed real estate agent. It's actually considered a Class 6 felony with a $10,000 fine and up to $6,000 in prison. That's why I take this stuff serious, because there is laws in some states that you have to follow. I'll get right into it. A lot of newer wholesalers, they're going out and they're locking contracts down for 30 to 60 days or even longer. And in the meantime, the seller is thinking that their house is sold. They're making plans to move. They're buying airplane tickets. They already bought another house, or they rented another house. They have rental trucks. They're usually in a stressful situation already, and they need the cash from their house to make their life more comfortable. And they're counting on this sale to go through. So if you don't have a buyer and you're not performing, this could cause major problems for you. Always have a contingency in your contract for 10 to 15 days for an inspection period, and try to move the property within those 10 to 15 days. If you can't move it within 10 to 15 days, it's probably not a deal. Most successful wholesalers, when they send out their list or when they blast their cash buyers list, most good deals are spoken for within 24 to 48 hours. So 10 to 14 days is plenty enough time to find a deal if you really know what you're doing and you have a strong cash buyers list. The contingency that you do have, the inspection period that you do have in place, you should give the third-party buyer a chance to inspect the property, so that way they can cancel on you if they find any major problems within that inspection period. So once they come in with their earnest money, non-refundable, and they put it down, they've seen the place, they know what they're getting themselves into, and they're not buying it sight unseen. That'd be fair for them to have a chance to be able to back out. The initial contract that you sign with the seller, you should have it in writing that you as the buyer have a right to assign this contract without the consent of the seller. I'm not sure, in Arizona you don't need, well, I'm sure in Arizona you do not need to do that, but I do anyway, because I want to be very transparent and disclose to the seller exactly, so that way they're not surprised when they do assign the contract. It says right in the contract that you have the right to assign the contract to a third party, and they sign off on that. I think that's only the right thing to do there. All advertising needs to be accurately disclosed in all your advertising that you are the contract holder and not the property owner, and that you don't hold title to the property. You're not selling the property itself, you're selling your equitable interest in the property. In the state of Texas, they have a statute that regulates the practice of wholesalers, and they require wholesalers to disclose in all their advertising their nature of their equitable interest that they hold. If they do not disclose this, it then appears that the wholesaler holds title to the property and will be considered being engaged in the activity of real estate brokerage, which requires a real estate license. Felony in Arizona. So that's why I think this stuff's really important that we learn this. I'm not sure who regulates this stuff or anyone even does, but I think you should know this if you're going to be in the business, so that way you're aware of the legal issues that could arise in the business, and at least you have some type of knowledge on the subject. Like I said, I'm not a real estate attorney. If you have any more questions about the subject, contact a real estate attorney in your area, and I hope you got a lot of value from the video. Thank you.